Once again, the good people over at Crunchyroll have asked me to make an early video about a series I am personally excited for this upcoming season. Probably because I'm such a positive and charismatic person. Man can dream, right? Now, I've already made a whole list of 10 shows that I will have in a different video. Please look forward to it. But let's be honest, most of those are just me hoping and praying that it's not some kind of wishful thinking that they might be good. And I wanted to place special attention on this show, Drifters, because it's this weird combination of elements that may mean it's going to be show of the season, or a major disappointment. Only time and hopefully some decent episodes, or lack thereof, will tell. Most of the preseason hype for this season is really based solely on all the various names and companies attached to the show. Name recognition is a big thing for many people because it's an easy indicator of quality. At least that's how things appear. And this show has quite a few interesting names, actually, all from multiple different productions. So today, I wanted to go over what we know about this series and try and take a gander at what all of this might mean about the upcoming season of Drifters. So here are some reasons why I think Drifters may or may not be good.
Reason number 1, its creator.
In my mind, one of the biggest indicators of quality for a show is who's in charge of the original story. For adaptations such as this, that means who is the original creator and what else have they done. Too often though, what is being adapted is the sole work of any given artist, but in Drifters' case, this is not true. Kota Hirono is the original author for Drifters, and besides this, he is most well known for a little known show called, Hellsing. Hellsing being a series so good, it qualified for multiple different adaptations because the original adaptation was somewhat crap and the public wanted more. So Hellsing Ultimate was released. Hirono's style of writing is an interesting one, and unfortunately I don't feel it was properly adapted even on the second go-round. You see, Hellsing had two major parts to it. One part, amazing vampire supernatural action. And another part, unintentional comedy. I don't mean comedy like the series belonged to the comedy genre or anything, more like comedy similar to Full Metal Alchemist, occasional use of chibi art for comedic effect. The Hellsing adaptations never really got that blend from the original manga quite right. Now, as I haven't read Drifters, this entire point might be moot, but if it does have a similar feel to it at times, then there is the chance that it won't quite come out right in this adaptation. Either way, I feel like the base content is going to be solid. We just have to hope that it's adapted by the right studio. Which leads to
Reason number 2, the studio.
Now this reason is possibly a major negative, mostly because so much rides on the adaptation itself, even if Hirono's work is amazing. Drifters is being handled this year by Hoods Entertainment, which personally has me slightly worried. Hoods is good at particular things. Usually things of the ecchi, big-titted women, fat surface variety. The best show that they've ever done, in my opinion, was called Mysterious Girlfriend X, and even I can see how niche and potentially unappetizing that series could be for some people. So why Hoods is the one in charge of this is a complete mystery to me. If the studio was Madhouse, or Bones, White Fox, or hell, even Statelight, I'd be far less worried. In their favor though, they have a really good director on tap.
Reason number 3, the director.
One of the biggest shining lights of this whole production is that Kenichi Suzuki is at the helm directing it. If you don't recognize his name, that's okay. You'll probably still know of his work. Specifically, he was the man in charge of the recent adaptation of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and its subsequent season, Stardust Crusaders. He's also not a newcomer to Hirono's work, as he handled the directing duties for the 10th episode of Hellsing Ultimate, because Ultimate was that weird thing where it had like different staff and even different studios in charge of various episodes. It was weird. Cool, but weird. Regardless, Suzuki has a proven record with this kind of material, so while I may be hesitant with Hoods attached, he makes up for a lot. Now, the last thing is a curiosity of mine.
Reason number 4, the music.
So, there are two composers attached to this series. The first is Hayato Matsuo, which depressed me highly when I saw his name because he is the composer of Hellsing Ultimate. Now, the music for Hellsing Ultimate wasn't necessarily bad. I talked about that in my video of the series. But I just personally thought that it didn't have the same kind of flair and personality to it that the music from the original Hellsing adaptation, Hellsing TV, had. Especially since the TV's adaptation music was the best part of the whole damn production. But the second composer is Yasushi Ishii, who is the composer for said Hellsing TV series. Now, I don't know why they are both here, I have zero clue. I can't remember the last time that I watched a series with multiple musical composers attached in this way, but I am certainly intrigued. Especially because Ishii doesn't do a lot of anime music. Like, besides Hellsing, all he's done is music for Gemini of the Meteor, the second Darker Than Black season. That's basically it. So I want to hear this soundtrack, like, badly. With the two of them attached, I can only guess that they are splitting duties on everything, but considering how different their styles were with Hellsing, I'm interested to see how their music is going to gel together. If it does at all. And one final thing before I let you go.
Reason number 5.
The ending. I have seen a Hirono adaptation before where the manga material was incomplete, and that was Hellsing TV. And if you've seen it, then you might agree with me that it has one of the worst made-for-anime endings in existence. Okay, well, maybe it wasn't that bad, but it sure as hell comes close. As it stands, the Drifters manga is still listed as in progress and has been since 2009. Now, there are 60 chapters of the material available, last I checked, so with luck, we shouldn't run out of story. But I'm cautious, like with most shows, about what they do to tie things like this off. Worst case is another anime-only ending. Which I'd like to think they want to do after Hellsing TV, but anything is possible. I rarely see endings that I am 100% happy with, so I just hope that I'm even slightly content with this one when we get it. So, there are some reasons why you may want to be excited for Drifters. As usual, I will most definitely be continuing the show throughout the season with the hopes that it won't be worse than my expectations. But if it is, well, that'll be something to make a video about, eh? Drifters is expected to start on October 7th in Japan, and more than likely will be available for us Westerners on either that day or shortly thereafter. A subtitled version of the show is expected to make its way over to Crunchyroll, link in the description as usual, crunchyroll.com/glassreflection for a premium service free trial, which will be required to watch Drifters when it airs. But Drifters is actually licensed by Funimation, and due to their little, forbidden love, shall we say? Due to the Crunchyroll Funimation agreement, Funimation is expected to do a broadcast dub of Drifters sometime after the show actually airs. I say expected because they haven't officially announced that they are doing such a thing, and I'm just speculating. It would just be really odd, though, if they didn't. So we'll have to wait on them to actually say what they are doing as far as that goes. So let me know down in the comments if you guys are as excited for Drifters as I am, and we can all freak out, geek out, nerd out together. And until next time, ladies, gentlemen, and others, stay frosty.